Among those Afghans desperate to leave are those who worked with the United States forces during the war, and some are still in touch with their former friends and colleagues. One interpreter, Najib Rahimi, has been in contact with former Army Captain Jeff Trammell. NBC News Justice correspondent Julia Ainsley has been following this for us. Julia, good morning to you. Great to see you. You actually spoke with Rahimi, who is stranded at the airport with his family right now. Tell us about what he's going through.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was able to do a video chat with Rahimi and his family while they're just in the throngs of this crowd. There's gunfire firing overhead. In fact, that same gunfire is one that started a stampede just 2 days ago and then again last night, hurting his two daughters. He has three daughters. Two are twins, 6 years old. Those were hurt in the stampede. And as he's been afraid, he's been turning to Trammell for advice. Rahimi tells me he has all of the documents. He has documents to show that he was an interpreter for 2 years with U.S. forces going to provinces around Afghanistan. He has references from people in the U.S. military about his services. He has a pending visa application that's been pending for 7 months with no word. He's not someone who just now applied. All of these documents are in his hand, but until he can get through one of those gates at the airport, no one can even review those documents. And so it's really frustrating for him. He's in the throngs of this crowd, and he's very worried about the safety of his family. And he says he cannot follow President Biden's advice to go shelter in place because he has no more home to go back to. The Taliban will target him there.
Right. Where is he supposed to shelter in place? What type of advice is he getting from his friend Trammell in his communications? And has he literally not heard from any kind of U.S. government official as to how and when he and his family, his young kids, could get out?
He has not heard from any U.S. government official on what to do. His really only connection to the U.S. is through Trammell, his friend who he worked with in Afghanistan. And Trammell is giving him a lot of advice on, I heard maybe the East Gate might work. Now try the North Gate. He's running around to these different gates outside of the airport. And I've been in touch with Trammell, and Trammell was able to share with me screenshots of their conversations. And in addition to those logistics, there's just an incredible story of friendship here. Trammell is telling Rahimi to stay brave, telling Rahimi that he's the bravest interpreter he knew in Afghanistan and that he can get through this. Even when the gunfire starts, when the stampedes start, he is telling him to stay strong just as he stayed strong for him during those times in Afghanistan.
I just can't even imagine, Julia, what these families are going through right now as they await some type of exit out of Afghanistan right now, knowing their lives are in danger. Talk me through these pending visa applications that you talk about. Rahimi is not the only family who is in this situation.
That's right. There are thousands in this situation, and the State Department has said that they are prioritized. And as Monica mentioned, there have been many Afghans who have those pending applications, who have been fortunate enough to be flown out and taken to the United States. From there, then they have to go through the process of actually obtaining that visa to be able to stay in the U.S. But the vetting on the Afghan side, when they're still in Afghanistan, is still very intense for many reasons. Of course, we want to make sure that these are people who are not national security risk. But right now, I'm told that there is just such a backlog that the State Department is not able to keep up with this. And my colleague Josh Letterman today said that the people in the intelligence community warned the Biden administration that they needed to start this process a month earlier. And right now, we're still seeing them unable to keep up with this surge in demand.
All right, Julia Ainsley for us. Thanks so much for your reporting on this. Appreciate it.